Good morning. Wow. Good morning and welcome to. It's great to see everybody. Wow, this is wonderful. Hello to everybody out there in TV land, I guess it is. And to those out there on the pavilion, welcome. Good to see you. Glad to have all of you. My name is Tony Fisher. I serve this congregation gratefully. And this morning, my first thing is to express gratitude, and I would like to express gratitude this morning for our nominating committee. Those of you who are members will hear more about their work a little bit later, but they are the group that helps us come up with our next set of leaders, both in the Board of Trustees and in our endowment. And so, so I'd like to thank whoever's here. You can stand up or raise your hand or whatever. Adrian Cady, Jane Ellsworth, Joan Leary, Bill McCormick, and Stephanie Perkins, who's usually in the hospitality area. So say hi. Thank you so much. You can read our mission and vision statements on the back of your order of service. Those are the things to which we aspire here. We try to live our values out loud as best we can. If you're new here, if this is your first, second, or third time, and you're feeling brave, raise your hand and show us who you are. I see one over there. I think not the first time, but anyway. All right. I had a few of these. I don't know what that means, but we're especially glad to see you. And I hope as you continue to join us that you'll find a warm place full of interesting people and awesome things to do. So I have a few announcements. First of all, today is the day of our annual congregational meeting. This is very important. If you are a member, if you sign the book, then it is hoped that you will join us back here in the sanctuary. You're going to have a quick break after the service to go out and get some coffee and some cookies, if you'd like, and bring them back in here. I do have a note from Bill Halbrick. Is Bill here? One of our coffee machines is, I think, out of service. I don't know. Okay. So don't attack the messenger, okay? So we hope you'll be patient with our hospitality crew. But yes, go out and get some coffee and come back in for our meeting, which will start as soon as we possibly can after the service. A little note from the welcoming women who meet once a month here. And they need a little special plug. Eleanor Richardson gave this to me just as she walked in the door. Eleanor will be showing a slideshow of Patagonia in Thomas Hall. This is Thursday at noon, and I guess, I don't know if are men welcome and the welcoming women too? Where's Eleanor? I don't know. Bring a sandwich, coffee is provided. There'll be enough then. And next Sunday, the forum will be Jack Gorski talking about viruses and vaccines. That's Jack's specialty, so that'll be really interesting. And also in the afternoon next Sunday, the Interfaith Pride Convocation will be taking place right here at 4 p.m. Representatives from the Hindu, Jewish, Christian, Muslim traditions will be represented, as well as a Unitarian or two. So I hope you'll join us next Sunday at 4 o'clock. The Interfaith Alliance of Southwest Florida is sponsoring this. It's a great event, a wonderful event. So now let's take a deep breath, if you would, and settle ourselves for this morning's service with a prelude. The chalice is the container, the space where musicians and listeners gather. The oil is the fuel, the hours of practice and the life experiences of everyone in the room. The wick is the instrument, or the vocal cords, through which the music will flow. And the flame is the music which is created, as if by magic. When the instruments are lifted, the breath is inhaled, and the downbeat is nodded. Let's join together in the chalice lighting response. You'll see in your order of service or on the screen. May this flame ignite the music within us all and spark the shared joy of creating something magical together. And let's rise and join in Body or Spirit and sing our opening hymn, number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me. Words will be on your screen.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Please be seated. I have the great pleasure of introducing our guest, who you've already heard, Kevin Malden. Welcome, Kevin. Kevin is the principal bassist of the Naples Philharmonic Orchestra. Kevin got his Bachelor's of Music degree from Memphis State and his Master's degree from Cincinnati College Conservatory. He's a native of Memphis, and he studied bass with Herman Burkhart, John Chiego, and in Cincinnati with Frank Proto. His teaching responsibilities, he does teaching locally for double bass and electric bass students. He has taught since 2007 at the Hot Springs Music Festival, and he also taught at Brevard Music Center at the University of Miami from 2000 to 2010. And when he's not performing with the Naples Philharmonic, Kevin performs with jazz artists in Southwest Florida. He's also a member of the Naples Philharmonic Jazz Orchestra, and he owns an instrument repair shop. KGM String Repair, in case anybody needs that, providing string repairs for professionals and students in the area. So welcome, Kevin. How are you?
Welcome. Is this on? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice introduction. A few updates. The Hot Springs Music Festival no longer exists.
Oh.
But we're starting one called the Ozark Music Festival in Fayetteville. I'll be doing that this summer. And as far as instrument repairs, I'm taking a little bit of a break because I've recently had eye surgery. So I basically am waiting on recovery on that. So aside from that, all is good.
It's all good? Okay. All right, good. Well, as you know, if you've been around for a while, we do an occasional service that our coming-of-age youth have suggested. And this was one of the first ones and probably got the most votes in terms of having a professional musician come and be with us in the service and learn a little bit about what that's about. And Kevin's name came up, and so he said, yes, here he is. This is great. So we'll do a little Q&A, and then you'll play again, and then we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the first question is, when did you get involved with music? What age?
An interesting question. When I was about, I grew up in Memphis. This was in the 60s. And at that time, Memphis was still segregated. So they brought string programs into my community. And we were like in the 3rd or 4th grade, and we had to take a test, musical aptitude. They would play a low note, high note, mid-range. If you scored above a certain level, you took a note home to your parents and said your kid is eligible to play the violin, which is what I was doing. But prior to that, we had general music in schools, and we were playing the Orff instruments, and we were singing melodies and stuff like that. So I was involved with that, and also just hearing music around, everything from blues to soul to R&B to gospel. Not much classical music, actually. So I started on the violin And I did that for 4 years, and I was in the Memphis Youth Symphony Training Orchestra, All City Orchestra, Memphis Youth Symphony. When I was in the 6th grade or so, I heard some kids playing the bass. And they were playing, out of all things, they were jamming on it. They were playing the bass line from the movie Shaft. This thing. They were playing this. And I said, I don't need to be playing the violin anymore. So, a couple of societal events happened. My first year of junior high school, I went to the band director. I said, I want to play the bass. He was one of the old school disciplinarians. He said, play your violin, have a seat. That was the end of it. The next year, they started busing, so we were going to different schools. So I went, and that summer, I learned all the notes on a broomstick for the bass, and I learned how to read bass clef. So I went to the new school, and I told the music director, I want to play the bass. He said, fine. And then I could play it, except for I held the bow like a violin. And he looked at me like I made this all up, and I was kind of giving him a runaround. And so that was the bass. The next year, I was in like Tennessee All-State or something, so I was like, I must be good at this. I wasn't, but I thought I was. That's kind of the beginning. In high school, I started playing electric bass, and then in the college thing, as you said, all those things happened. So,
Was there a particular point along the way where you said, yes, I want to do this as a career?
I don't think there was, I'll answer it kind of roundabout. There was never a point where I said I wouldn't do this. In my early days, well, once you got into grad school and stuff like that, as you go higher and higher in education, there's sort of a diminishing amount of people, and that level gets higher and higher. There may have been questions then, but not until, I would say, before here, I was in Chattanooga Symphony, and when they went bankrupt, that's when I had my real, like, maybe I ought to do something else.
Yeah.
But then I could also play every other style, so I could make a living playing the bass somehow, but not exclusively classical music.
Yeah.
On that note, I tried that for a year, and I became horrible at everything I played. When I only played classical music. I did it for like a year. I said, that's the worst decision musically for me, because I like the variety.
Well, what would the difference be for you in terms of playing classical versus like jazz, for instance?
Well, good question. Good question.
You're thinking about improvisation as part of that jazz.
Well, that's the main difference. I mean, you saw the commonalities. You do have to know the music and honor the composer as much as the music allows. In jazz, I get to rewrite a bass line. I could play the same piece 3 times with 3 totally different bass lines and still have the ensemble work. If I'm playing a Beethoven symphony, the interpretations, you can't change notes, but you can change tempos, you can change articulations, you can change phrases and things like that. For example, we just did the Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and some of it was faster than I had ever played it ever. And it was fun because it wasn't like all the other times. It wasn't like, this is the way you play Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and that's the end of it.
Right.
This was challenging preconceived notions, and I like that.
Yeah. Different directors do different things with the same piece.
Right. And to me, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to play it the same way, buy a CD. That's kind of me.
So we've sort of angled this service, at least a little bit, towards music and spirituality. Are there moments in your playing life that you sort of think of as being, somewhat elevated, or maybe in listening to an orchestra or sitting there in the middle of it?
If those moments come on, they come on rather spontaneously. So you could be, I could be in any type of ensemble and something magical happens. That would be what I'm thinking of when you ask that question.
Yeah.
And that can happen in an orchestra. It has happened. Sometimes you get to a concert and you know this section of the piece has not been rehearsed well, and the orchestra pulls off this magic. To me, that answers the question.
Right.
So.
When a guest conductor comes, do you do a lot of rehearsing before and understanding their style, or they just come and just tell you what they want to hear?
Hopefully I know my part well enough to adjust, but I don't really study the styles of conductors if
Yeah.
they're coming, unless it's a unique piece has a lot of things to consider. But usually I want to be prepared enough to be flexible to adapt to a style, particularly if it's one I don't like. I want to be flexible enough to honor that style as best as I can deliver to it. And I might go, well, that was hideous. However, that's secondary to what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Or maybe even further down than secondary.
So, do you guys have any questions at all? Anything? Well, Brad.
No questions?
They'll think about it. I'll ask Brad's question. You know, Brad is the facilitator of this group and a friend, right?
Right. We live on the same street. We've known each other for a long time. Decades.
Decades.
More than a quarter century. Okay.
That's right. So
Brad
this is a typical Brad question, though. So do musicians play any role in a community struggling with big challenges like poverty, racism, gun violence, and poor health care?
That is a deep question.
It
I read
is.
that and I went,
Blame the guy over there. Yeah.
No, it's a good question. I would say, I guess it depends on who the musicians are and how big they are. If you're thinking of a global issue like that, but I imagine in every community there's someone doing something to help out. So I don't really have enough information to
All right.
really answer that without
Does
speculating.
the Philharmonic have a particular charity that they work with or anything like that? Do you know?
I don't know.
All right.
I actually don't know.
We'd be happy to volunteer if you'd like to do that.
I mean, aside from like doing the summer youth programs and things like
Well,
that.
that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they have those, and outreach can. All the schools do come to us, and we used to travel to schools, and we had to travel Everglades City, Immokalee, anywhere out from center of Naples. When I first got here, we did a lot of those. So you tend to reach the cross section of the population,
Right.
And you never know who's listening when that happens.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't know if that really answered the question.
I think
but,
I think it was good. And anything? No. So most of these guys. Let's see. Oh, Jacob.
I just had a question. Like, when you realized that you were inspired by music, what inspired you to have that interest into music? Was it your family? Did your family support you in that?
The very original inspiration.
Somewhat. They didn't discourage me, but it wasn't like it was a different level of support. Like here, it wasn't the same economic status as my students have here. When I was 16, I wasn't driving to lessons in a car more expensive than my teacher's car. So that was different, but I would say they recognized that there was a gift, and there was support as much as we could afford to do at the time.
Yeah.
Once I got to college, I had teachers that really had to sort of say, you've ridden the talent train as fast as it can go, now you need to do the hard work.
Yes.
That was the eye-opener come college, because I could just kind of, I still have that skill, and I could get away with just doing it. I mean, I was, as a young musician, I could almost sight read anything, so I would outside read the college kids in high school. So there are two sides to that. One is like, that's a good gift. The other, I was like 16, so I'm like, yeah, well, I got the business going on, but I didn't. So my first teacher, one of my first teachers in Memphis, John Chiego, said, okay, you have talent, but you need to learn how to practice. You need to learn how to do the work. You need to learn how to plan for when you get out of college. And I was just living day by day, enjoying it, getting the job done, not really focused, but I knew I was like, I'm going to be in the orchestra. So it was sort of a combination of being challenged. And in grad school, Frank Proto was even more challenging. He says, playing like that won't get you a job. Go back and do the work. And so that was good. I needed that. I needed that little bit of not so, what's that, tough love, that's what they called it in the 80s.
Yeah. You do get to a point, and I experienced this myself, when your talent takes you just so far, and you really do have to decide that you're going to buckle down and do the work, because there's going to be other people out there that are just as talented.
Right.
And it really depends on both the work that you do and the luck that you have and the talent. Yeah.
And they help each other out. Like, the more skills I developed, the more the talent could just like rise, could fit into that. But the talent without direction, you wind up spending years undoing bad habits.
Yeah.
So I did that too.
True in life as well. Anyway, thank you so much for
You're
for
welcome.
that. So let's remain seated and sing our centering hymn, Comfort Me. It's number 1002 in the Teal hymnal. I think we have the number of verses on the order of service. So let's sing those. Words will be on the screen.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
This is our time to join together in community and share with one another those joys and those sorrows that we carry with us into this place, but also into community. I have one sorrow to share this week personally. Anne fell and broke her wrist on Thursday evening. My wife, Anne, and she was stepping off a ladder and wasn't quite at the bottom rung yet, and sort of went and smacked her left wrist, which is her dominant wrist. So she's at home and hopefully watching, because I told her I would do this, I think, anyway. But she's doing fine. She's getting a little tired of it already, believe it or not. You know, she is very energized usually. And if you'll grab one of those mics. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you'd like to share this morning, I hope you'll raise your hand. I will come to you, and please give us your name and tell us briefly what's in your heart.
Hi, my name is Marion Regal.
Yep.
Bill and I returned to New Jersey this week after a shorter season than usual, and we will miss this place very much. I'm going to encourage them to sing more comfort songs at certain times. And we will miss you all and hope that you will hit us on the shoulder on the way out today to let us know.
Right. Absolutely. And it is the end of March, so I know that might be true for a number of you, so I hope you travel with our love and our best wishes and a quick and safe return to any of you who are leaving for the North Country.
Hi, my name's Dean. I have a joy. We're going to have all the grandkids and kids with us this afternoon, but my sorrow is that I have a boy with paranoid schizophrenia, and he is unable to ever really join us and think through the same way that the rest of us do, and it's a difficult, really difficult disease.
Thanks for sharing, Dean. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Andrews. I just have a joy and a sorrow. My joy is to see so many people here that I don't know, and the chairs are full, and it's really wonderful. My sorrow is I have gone to this church for 20 years, about 20 years, and where are all my friends who have disappeared? It's really, really sad.
Thanks for sharing that, Phyllis. I think a number of people feel that way too. Yeah.
My name is Earl Anderson. I have a joy and a sorrow. I started yesterday feeling good, open day, things I wanted to do, and one of those things was to visit a kind of new church in our neighborhood that opened up in a storefront. I figured maybe they wouldn't be open, but maybe the pastor would be there. So anyway, so I approached the church, and I saw this sign at the kind of, very prominently in big letter, warning. Welcome to the Faith Church, Naples. Right of admission reserved. This is private property. Please know that this is not a gun-free zone. We are heavily armed. Any attempt will be dealt with deadly force. Yes, we are a church, and we will protect our people, the pastors.
Wow.
Saddening.
My name's Elizabeth Morrell, and I want to make a special thanks to people who come overtime and work in our garden without pay. They sometimes come here, they work 7 hours, and they do amazing things. And one of them is named Victoria, and she's now gone back up north. But the beautiful arrangements you see with the stumps are from Victoria and her little dog, and Reggie, who has done an amazing job of fixing over 160 sprinkler heads and digging them up several feet down and all kinds of amazing things. So I want to make a special thanks to Victoria and Reggie and Chris. And Chris has come here extra time to make beautiful our front gardens. And he's not here today, but I want you to keep him in mind and thank him. And Janet Hoffman's doing a vegetable garden, or a little spice garden in the back, which is beautiful, and the butterfly garden, and Kathy Ripa volunteers, and she's a professional landscape gardener, and she's helped us with a lot of projects. But I'd like to thank all the gardening people who do such a beautiful job and volunteers. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And if you would like to join them on a Tuesday morning at 9.
Hi, my name's Jerry Manning. And first of all, a sorrow, and that is that I have come to realize just how much people who suffer with pain, how that dominates their lives, and how difficult it is, and how much care it takes from a community, family, and medical to help folks to cope. And a joy is that Dina and Mike loaned me their walker, and I was able to get the kind of care that I needed to get me walking again. So I am, and of course to my wife. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Please join me in the spirit of meditation. Spirit of love and life, God of our deepest understanding. Within this peace we create together, let us be grateful for all that has been shared in joy and sorrow. And for those holding thoughts close, may this time to be together be a balm for your spirits. We come to this place as individuals with stories and songs of our own. But the longer we stay, we discover that life at its highest and sweetest is a sharing. And as we blend song and story, we begin to find the harmony of this community. It is all too true that the world is rife with discord and trouble. Injustice and suffering can weigh us down and silence our singing. But when we learn to trust love and the strength of our shared voices, we can begin to bring some beauty to the cacophony around us. When we attach our voices to the striving for the creative good, the common good, we find that we are bound by unexpected connections. A community of other souls with and for whom we share the responsibility for the whole. A larger community yearning, singing, dancing for peace, justice, and love. A community that time and again returns our offerings with gratitude and the occasional touch of grace. Let us share some time of silence together. Our reading this morning is from the Reverend Renee Rokowski. She is a congregational life specialist with the Unitarian Universalist Association. Our first breath is followed by our first song, loud, lusty, primal, a solo that announces to the world, I have arrived. We are the music. As toddlers hearing our first reggae beat, we let our spines and hips bend and sway in response, as natural as the beat of our hearts. We are the music. The drone of the bass notes of the church organ, a vibration in our chests, tense muscles relax, the breath deepens. We are the music. As we push air from our bellies out through the chest and throat, our changing expressions change the sound. We are the music. As we sing together, voices blend to create a harmony, each voice enriched by its connection to the next. We are the music.
Imagine that I am on stage under a watchtower of punishing light, and in the haze is your face bathed in shadow, and what's beyond you is hidden from sight. And somebody right now is yawning and watching me like a TV. And I have been frantically piling up sandbags against the flood waters of fatigue and insecurity. Then suddenly I hear my guitar sing, and so I just start singing along. And somewhere in my chest all the noise just gets crushed by the song. Imagine that I'm at your mercy, and imagine that you are at mine. Oh, pretend I've been standing here watching you, watching me all this time. Now imagine that you are the weather in the tiny snow globe of this song. I am the Statue of Liberty, 1 inch long. So here I am at my most hungry, at my most full. And here I am, waving the red cape, locking eyes with the bull. La, da, 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 Imagine that I am on stage under a watchtower of punishing light, and in the haze is your face bathed in shadow, and what's beyond you is hidden from sight.
Simon, did I hear you playing the Pink Panther earlier this morning? That's amazing, because I was going to describe an experience playing the Pink Panther. So I guess I was in early high school, and my friend David Dempsey, who played the tenor sax, and my friend Paul Kopitz, who played the drums, thought of ourselves as a band. Sort of like what you guys are doing, but you guys are better than we were. But we had a friend who was having a party, and she suggested we just come and play at the party. We had like 2 songs, so it wasn't like we were going to entertain the whole night. And we had so we set ourselves up, and we sort of everybody gathered around, and we started playing, and we played our first song, and then that was okay, and everybody still looked sort of interested. Maybe not everybody was there that was there at the beginning, but anyway, then we played the Pink Panther, and it was like the best we had ever played it. It was, it's just, I'm feeling it now. It just felt really super. And that was a moment I will always remember, that sense of uplift when we were so good. And everybody was polite, and they said, "Oh, that's awesome, yeah," and then turned away and went back into the corner, or they were out dancing or something like that. I just remember that moment as a moment in music that was just so intense. I've had another one in listening to music. I was visiting a friend. I was 18. I was visiting a friend in New York. He was at college there, and I was sleeping on the hard floor in a sleeping bag, and it was dark. And all of a sudden, I heard drifting up from the air. Those air shafts in the middle of big buildings. Drifting up from somewhere on the lower floor was Bridge Over Troubled Water. First time I'd ever heard it. And I can feel it again. It's really, you just connect with something, and it just sort of takes you somewhere else. How many of you had an experience like that? Yeah, see? There you go. Almost everybody's hand. How many of you had experience like that with music? Oh, same number of people. All right, so you were getting that. It is an amazing thing. Music can take us so many places, and it is, I think it's something that connects to our spiritual nature in a way that nothing else really can. One of my ministerial mentors, Reverend Helen Cohen, defined spiritual or the sacred as that dimension in life which connects us within ourselves to something out there that deepens and uplifts us, that makes us feel empowered or transforms us in some way. At its greatest, it can really transform our lives and change us in our direction and our motivations. I think our spiritual nature is that which allows us to let go of our ego long enough to feel a connection with that which is greater. And I think music can do that. It can take us out of a moment and take us somewhere else. My simple laptop dictionary says that music defines music as a vocal or instrumental sounds combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. I think that's a little lofty because music is a lot bigger than that, but it does have that ability to do that. And Unitarian Universalist author Doug Muter, if he's correct, he feels that music fits comfortably within the context of spirituality. He wrote that spirituality is an awareness of the gap between what you can experience and what you can adequately describe. It's that ineffable sense of a spiritual moment. You have it, but you can't really describe it. And often when we hear a piece of music, if it's a symphony by Mahler, or if it's a piece of jazz played in a club and you know they're really feeling it, you can feel it too. It is something that just connects you to something outside of yourself, and that is, in fact, I think, a spiritual moment. You might be able to say, well, wow, but that's about all you can do to really define how you're feeling, what's going on inside. Howard Ward Beecher wrote that music cleanses the understanding, inspires it, and lifts it into a realm which it could not reach itself if it were left to itself. Songwriter and record producer Frank Fitzpatrick tells a story about he once invited a retired British friend to an Easter celebration at a Southern Baptist church in south central Los Angeles. The gentleman, as he was described, had spent his whole life attending masses at an extremely conservative church, Church of England congregation. And Fitzpatrick wanted him to hear the choir and the amazing artists who regularly joined the service at this particular church. The experience wasn't just eye-opening to his friend or entertaining, it was transformative. It was an incredible experience. It was revelatory, he said. The whole congregation was singing, clapping, and dancing along with the choir, and the soloists sang as if possessed by the music and as it channeled through them. Having never experienced anything like that in his life, the friend told Fitzpatrick afterwards that after this, his whole life would have been different if his church had been filled with so much joy and music and passion rather than extremely controlled services he had come to know. We're somewhere in the middle, I hope. I don't know. I hope so. Music is so essential to our human life and integral part of our development as a species. The discovery of bone flutes dating back 40,000 years to the Upper Paleolithic period strongly suggests music had been part of the human experience since we began to gather together in larger groups, perhaps. Like breath, music has a rhythm, a tension, and a release. One might even claim that the sound of breath or the waves or the ocean are musical expressions. And it's been suggested that the first music might have been simple recreation of the sounds of nature. It holds such profound experience, profound spiritual significance for us. Music does, and serves as a powerful tool for emotional expression, spiritual connection, even altered states of consciousness, transcending both the cultural and linguistic barriers that we put up. It's one of the most powerful gateways to our spiritual nature. Very few other mediums that can transport us as immediately to another place and time. Imagine a song that you heard as a teenager, and when you hear it again, there you are, right back there. Music can provide all the full range of emotions, from joy to anger, from nostalgia to grief, full range. It just has the ability to change you in a very short period of time. And I know when I have found myself, my singing silenced, and my life doesn't have music in it, when I sort of realize that finally, just putting on a certain piece of music will shift me out of a rut and move me somewhere else along the path. Such a unique ability to transport us independently and collectively in our thinking to a place that is uninhibited by the judgments and doubts and fears that often get in the way and dictate the narration of our thoughts and self-limiting beliefs. Such a gift is this music we enjoy every week and in our own homes. I'll close in a little bit, but right now, let's hear some more music and share in the offering. I hope that you will find some way to dig a little deep this morning, and the morning's offering for the ongoing work and mission of this congregation will be gratefully received. Thank you so much. That was great. Great. So we talked a little bit about what happens when you sort of reach the edge of your talent and you need to sort of figure out how to move forward. And in our lives today, we're facing a world where we're not really sure how to or where to take the next step. How do we engage this world in a positive way? How do we reach across those great divides that separate us? And we have to think about, those differences that we do face and be able to understand how to do that. I mean, think about if the bass section of the orchestra decided they weren't going to play with the flute section. Have you done that? Or what if the violins decided they didn't want to play if the trumpets were going to play? What would an orchestra be, and where would that incredible sound come from? We need to figure out how to break that, sort of those barriers down. Benny Goodman, the great band leader of the 30s, 40s, 50s, had a little trouble first putting his band together early in the 30s, and when he was asked how he dealt with that, he said, one way or the other, you can find reasons why you shouldn't keep on. He said, if you want to find reasons, you'll find them. The obstacles are there are a million of them. And he struggled mightily to put that band together, but when he did, he broke the mold and put together one of the first integrated and most successful bands of the era. And he did it, he put that band together by looking across differences, and he said, if a guy's got it, let him give it. I'm selling music, not prejudice. It takes the black keys and the white keys both to make perfect harmony. That's a time, at a time when segregationist policies made it difficult for anyone to see beyond what they could see. That's one difference, but we're faced with many differences today. One of the great Unitarian Universalist theologians of the 20th century, Henry Nelson Wyman, believed that woven through the course of human striving, there has been a creative power that works through us and especially between us, motivating our efforts to work towards the greatest good, the creative good, as he called it. That meaningful interchange can happen between people, that thing he called God. He called the holy. I doubt if Henry Nelson Wyman had ever met Benny Goodman, but I think Benny would have concurred. Benny Goodman, the band leader philosopher, said, creativity grows out of two things, curiosity and imagination. Both are necessary to make something new happen. So stay curious, listen to music, let its imagination and creativity let you soar and get beyond your boundaries. You never know when creativity might strike or when you might share your ideas with others and listen and see what they bounce back at you. The world is an incredible place if we make it so. Let's join together in our closing hymn, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky, verses 1 through 3. Let's go.
All creatures of the earth and sky, come kindred, lift your voices high. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bright burning moon with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Swift rushing wind will wild and strong, white clouds that sail in heaven along. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Fair rising morning, praise rejoice. High stars of evening find a voice. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Our closing words this morning come from my friend Joe Cleveland, who's been known to preach with a banjo around his neck. May we hear the melody of life and find ourselves singing harmony. May we be open to the dissonances in the songs of the land and its people, that we might be part of the world's urging towards peace, justice, and love. May we feel in our bones the rhythm of life and the earth and find ourselves dancing. Go in peace, go in love. Have a wonderful day.